What's up, guys? Brandon and Jeremy here from friendofrc.com, giving you our take on the Traxxas T-Maxx. Now, this is an old school, one of the 2.5s, which we've upgraded to 3.3, but really the vast majority of all of our points are going to apply across whatever motor you've got in the thing. So, in typical fashion, let's jump into the technical side of things, and I'll take off the shell here so you can get a better look at what's going on inside.
So like Jeremy said, this is the classic T-Maxx. When we say classic, that means it still shares the original transmission, original chassis plate. Most of the other stuff, like the front bulkheads, rear bulkheads, the whole suspension setup is still the same, even on the new ones, but the chassis plate and the drivetrain, including the transmission, have been changed. So we started with the classic. We upgraded it quite a bit, like he said, up to the 3.3 motor, a tuned pipe. We got a better steering servo on it, which is a must if you have the classic one. And a little bit different shift setup.
Also remember the bell crank upgrade.
Upgrade, right, yes.
As well as going to the big bore shocks, too.
The old T-Maxxes had a steering servo right on the servo, which on a monster truck just doesn't cut it. You won't have any steering. So we got the new bell crank upgrade, which moves the steering servo saver to the bell crank, which is a lot better direct steering control.
You went from needing probably a 50-foot radius to drive around in a circle at speed to like less than half of that. It's truly about a $20 upgrade that actually saved this truck's life, in my opinion. Like, I hated it before that, and then once we did that, which you can see in the T-Maxx suck to non-suck upgrade video over on RC Nightmare, this thing is super fun now with all the upgrades. And you know, as far as the technical side there, I don't have a heck of a lot to add, so we'll shoot on over to cost of operation and durability. So, like many RCs, when there's many generations of it, it drives the cost of operation down. Because it's a Traxxas product, it's already pretty cheap. Mm-hmm. It's going to be available at most of your local hobby stores. So I'm pretty happy with it. We haven't had to replace a heck of a lot. We typically, as we normally do, at least with RC Nightmare trucks, we end up upgrading stuff before we have time to break it. Yeah. In terms of like testing it out, and you know, could we have broken one of the original shocks? Maybe, but before we could, we put in the big bore, and all of that. So
yeah, we did pretty good. We had it out bashing, running pretty hard. They, like he said before, this shares 80% of the same parts as the original T-Maxx. So even if your hobby shop doesn't stay up to date with parts, chances are they probably have what you need if you break it. And that being said, RPM carries the full line of aftermarket for this. It's been out for about 15 years now. So if there's a part that you see you're breaking consistently, there's probably an upgrade for it.
Absolutely. And so in terms of durability, I've been pretty happy with it. I can't complain. Obviously, like any nitro or anything, I mean, you're gonna break stuff, but nothing really sticks out to me as, for sure, like cheap or breakable.
Yeah, you got on top of that, you got the standard nitro maintenance costs. You'll be buying fuel, the clutch shoes, little things that add up for nitro, glow plugs, cleaning the air filter, maybe new foam elements, but. All that being said, it's not any higher maintenance than any other nitro, and in fact, it's a well-proven design that you can pretty much rely on to work well for you.
And in terms of fun factor, I thought this is really one of the first nitros I've had experience with, and I honestly say, like, even though I don't care for the maintenance that goes with it, I have a lot of fun with this thing. Like, if you're a first-time nitro guy or gal, and you're looking kind of just find something that is real, like just in general fun and versatile, I thought the T-Maxx is pretty fun.
Yeah, it's a good all-around truck. It'll get you over a lot of obstacles. It's a good off-road truck. It can go on the pavement. The tires that they give you on this model will last you a lifetime. And there's just something to be said about nitro. We all have that primal instinct and urge to have things that go boom, and when you hear one of these things screaming, it just grabs you a certain way. So most people like to have at least one nitro in their collection to have fun with, if not more.
Yeah, and that's kind of how we have it. Like nitro for RC Nightmare, like to me, the aspects of nitro that I like are that. So I don't need 10 of them to get that same. 1 or 2 is fine for me. In terms of value, great value. The price, obviously, new out of the box is been driven down with years of R&D, and the replacement parts are extremely affordable. Sometimes some of the classic parts are a little more difficult to find on the shelf at your local hobby store, but in general, it's, we did, as an anecdote, we upgraded from the 2.5 to the 3.3 motor, and it was, I don't know if it was like just too much power on the original bearings and wheel nuts, but during the break-in, when we reached the last step, the power literally blew the tires right off the truck completely. So I guess that's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's good. It was plenty of power. You can see we got a wheelie bar on the back here. Maybe you can't see it, but we had to add that because when you got a 3.3 on the short wheelbase of the Classic, it's a wheelie monster. A lot of fun to play with, actually. There is something to be said about the value of the new version of these. If you're looking at buying a brand new T-Maxx, the new 3.3, Traxxas recently now included everything you need to get going in Nitro, minus the fuel. So you get fuel bottles, extra glow plugs, all the tools, the battery for the easy start. They really set you up really well. The price went up a little bit for that, but a lot cheaper than you buying a Nitro and then having to go out and buy all these accessories separate. Yeah. So they really set you up out of the box well to get started Nitro without getting too frustrated.
Absolutely, which takes us to performance, and I've got to rate it out of the box, and I'll say performance sucked.
Yeah.
As a 2.5 out of the box, big thumbs down.
Combine that with the terrible steering setup, terrible, right. And yet, like you said, I remember when we first talked about it, Jeremy wanted to get rid of it. He hated it, and I agreed. I mean, I've seen these at my job all the time, working at a hobby shop, and people just hate them. They have nothing but bad things to say about them, but it's really a very small thing you need to improve. So value out of the box, not too great, but Traxxas knows that, so they've already given you the upgrades to make it something that you'll really, really enjoy.
It's a lot very similar to my initial reaction to the Slash 4x4. It's like, it was so-so. $120 in upgrades later, it's a lot of fun. Same thing here. Get the, now you can obviously get it with the 3.3, but get the big bores, fix the steering, and you're doing all right. In terms of would I buy it again, looking at if I bought the 3.3 as it is now, I'd probably buy it.
Yeah.
I can't think, there's the next step up in monster truck in terms of Nitro is too expensive for how I like it, what I like about them. So T-Maxx is priced just right for me.
Yeah, I agree. I'm on the exact same wavelength there. If I were going to buy it again, I would have to be buying the new one that's got all the upgrades already included in the box. A little bit more expensive, but then you definitely get your money's worth.
Maybe the S-Max though, right? Which is available only at Hobbytown.
That's right. At your local Hobbytown USA, you can get the S-Max, which is a T-Max minus the front axles and drivetrain. So it's just rear-wheel drive, but now they have a 3.3 motor on it. You fix the steering on that, and for $300, you got yourself a monster truck. And that's, the T-Maxx 3.3 is going to run you over $400. So pretty good value there too.
Little golden nugget for you there, brought to you by a friend of RC. So if you have any questions about our T-Maxx, please post them up on down below. Shoot on over to our website at friendofrc.com or join the conversation at rcnightmare.com. Thanks.
See you guys.